Could be even worse than having an imposter syndrome, feeling like you are a fraud, like you don't belong there, like your good results are only the fake? This thing I discovered once I was on a conference about imposter syndrome. So I was sitting in auditorium, the lecturer was telling her story, and the atmosphere was so lovely. I felt trust, I felt connection, I felt like these people really understand how it is to feel a little bit inadequate.
Some people think I'm strange.
So I raised my hand and I wanted to ask a question. Imposter syndrome is when you feel like you're doing bad, but actually other people think you are doing pretty good. So you need to rely on opinion of others and accept that you are doing well. Is that right? Lecturer said, yeah, it's pretty like that. What if you are feeling you are doing bad, and also some other people also think you are doing bad? What if situation looks like that? I said nervously. The lecturer gave me a long look, signed, and said, well, girl, maybe you really screwed up. I felt so embarrassed. If you ever felt embarrassed, please give this video a big thumbs up so I know I'm not alone right there. And let's discuss today what could be even worse than having an imposter syndrome. This was 2 years ago. I'm feeling I'm doing pretty good at my job. I set up my own goals. I am achieving them. I'm in good terms with my manager. The only thing that keeps me kind of annoyed, I'm not in such good terms with my team. But I'm feeling, okay, maybe it's just work. It doesn't work out sometimes, so I don't really need to focus on that so much. I was thinking like that for a while, and once my performance validation arrived, when I was reading through it, I was honestly shocked. Independence below expectations, 80%. Performance below expectations, 60%. This is percentage of people who in team who thought so. It get even worse when I started to read the personal comments. It's not fair to say that she did it mostly by herself. She really needs to should focus on work. Ava has many interests and always a busy schedule. Yoga, Quizlet, language learning, walking, private appointments, and link to my personal calendar right there. I think that she should totally focus first on her work. Another guy says, Ava needs to be less afraid of engineering.
I'm not a woman engineer. I'm an engineer.
She seems to be easily intimidated, not by everyone around her, but by the technology itself. And the final piece, the cherry on the cake, is when my technical lead, a person I most closely worked with, cancelled all one-on-ones with me at some point And when I asked for explanation and we have a meeting together with me, technical leader, and the manager, he was looking not at me but kind of through me. And what he was saying,
I think it is going nowhere.
I felt like I was on the hill and I was fast falling down. It doesn't matter that the words from the review wasn't very nice. They was kind of mean, but I couldn't, and I understood that, but I couldn't kind of get them from my head. The guy who looked at my calendar and decided what I should do, what I shouldn't do, he really didn't have this right to do that. The other guy who said that I am intimidated by the technology itself. Come on, it's ridiculous, Ava. How well this could be. But every time I was trying to do something and it didn't work well, when it did require some effort from me, when I was sitting in front of a computer and couldn't concentrate and the bad feelings was rushing through my brain, I heard this awful voice saying to me,
I think this is going nowhere.
This is going nowhere, this is going nowhere, and this it was me, and I felt just so intimidated. I couldn't relax, I couldn't feel I can trust our people, especially people around me. I become more and more depressed. My self-confidence was broken. It was shattered into the pieces. For some time I was in this very depressed state, and once I've been there, I really don't judge now any people who are feeling like that, because I've been there, and I've been there for quite some time. Despite my efforts, it didn't go away very quickly. Despite my everyday running, it didn't go away very quickly. My biggest learning and revelation that there always would be people who wouldn't like you, who wouldn't give you a validation, who would doubt what you're doing. There would always people like that. You just need to accept this fact. You're not a dollar to be loved by everyone. This image in your head, this perfectionism, it's never gonna work. You need yourself. This is your job, to surround yourself by people who trust in you, who are your friends, who you are in a good relationship with, who can inspire you, who can mentor you, who can go together with you, who could keep you going. So you really need to surround yourself by people like that to survive on this planet and this life. And despite what the solution for imposter syndrome is telling you, that you need to rely on validation of other people, instead of that, you should take the pen in your hand and write this validation for yourself. Dear Ava, you are okay. You are totally normal. I even think you are interesting and talented person, and you have ability to learn, and you certainly belong to this world. So as I said, my name is Ava and this is self-care year. A year when we try to be a little bit happier. And this concrete episode is dedicated to people who felt down, who felt depressed, maybe you feel anxiety. So this episode is totally for you, and I invite you to join me here on this journey in the self-care year. You can hit the subscribe button right here, and I know it's very hard right now. I've been there, but you gonna make it. It would change. You gonna make it.